The US Justice Department says it's charged what it calls an asset of the Iranian regime over an alleged plot to assassinate Donald Trump. There was also an alleged plot against an American journalist who's been a prominent critic of the Iranian government. The FBI says it will not stand for the Iranian regime's attempts to endanger the American people and America's national security. Let's bring in Holly Dagres, who's non-resident senior fellow specialising in Iranian affairs at the Atlantic Council. Good evening, Holly.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks very much for coming on the programme. I mean, it is an extraordinary story. Tell us what we've managed to piece together.
Well, so far we understand that there have been three individuals, Farhad Shakeri, Carlisle Riviera, and Jonathan Loldenholt, that have been charged in this alleged Iran-linked plot to assassinate President-elect Trump and several Iranian dissidents. One famously will maybe be familiar with those folks that track Iran is women's rights activist Masih Alinejad. Riviera and Loldenholt have been arrested, and Shakeri is in Iran. And what we've been seeing from court documents that have been released so far is that the IRGC official that had been directing Shakeri had assessed that, unquote, that Trump would, quote, lose the election, and afterwards it would be easier to assassinate him. So it seems that Tehran was actually banking on the president losing the election. And as we all see, that appeared to be the opposite.
And, obviously there have been assassination attempts. We know that was one of the hallmarks of the campaign. Iran's involvement, though, what do you read into that? And is that something we've known about in the background?
Yes. So for those that haven't been following Iran closely, in 2020, the Donald Trump administration assassinated Quds Force Commander Qasem Soleimani. And ever since then, Tehran, up till the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei have talked about revenge for the killing of Qasem Soleimani. And so for years now, we've been hearing this chatter of assassination attempts on former U.S. officials that were directly or indirectly involved. And this includes actually one of the current names that are floating around, which is the head of Trump's transition, Brian Hook, who was the U.S. Special Envoy for Iran at the time, of course, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and National Security Advisor John Bolton, both of which the last two have actually had individuals arrested or had case charges filed against individuals that had actually tried to assassinate these two individuals. So this is a real threat.
And given the numbers of threats on Donald Trump, it will be a very tense time, won't it, in the run-up to him assuming the presidency and beyond?
Absolutely. We've, of course, had the two incidents that just happened right up to the lead up of the election, and this news is no different. I think just looking at it through the lens of Iran, what we'll probably be seeing is that there will be a continuation of the Trump administration's maximum pressure strategy. But Trump will obviously be keeping this in the back of his mind as he deals with the Iran file for the next 4 years. And it'll be something he'll be thinking about very closely on how he deals with the Islamic Republic.